The National Vietnam War Veterans Day ceremony was held today in West Springfield.
That's just one of the stops we make as Western Mass News goes town by town. This morning, the American Legion Honor Guard visited the West Springfield Vietnam Veterans Memorial on the town common. The community joined for a wreath-laying ceremony to pay tribute to veterans of the Vietnam War, including prisoners of war and those listed as missing in action.
Now to our next stop, Ludlow, where the Hubbard Memorial Library welcomes the public to drop in every Wednesday from 12 to 5 p.m. to pull a Lego Build Challenge card and then create with the library's Legos or free build just for fun. Creations are then put on display in the youth room for the remainder of the week.
Now our final stop, Springfield, where Mayor Dominic Sarno joined with restaurant owner Kenny Lumpkin and his team for the grand opening and ribbon cutting ceremony of the new All-American Sports Bar on Dwight Street. As of 5 p.m., the new restaurant is officially open to the public. In a statement to Western Mass News, Mayor Sarno says that Lumpkin and his team have done a fantastic job with Dewey's Lounge down on Restaurant Row, that's Worthington Street, and expects a great sports watching atmosphere to be brought to his new business.